you were a chess master.
That's right. Chess master is not a very high ranking. It's sort of what they say about black belt in martial arts. It's when you really are able to, like, you know, again, to use some kind of language. You're reasonably fluent in the language, but you're not, you know, it's still many levels below world-class players. It turns out I'm better at solving and composing chess problems and puzzles than I ever was at actually playing the game, although I haven't even done, so, you know, I'm a master at chess. Well, great, there are thousands of other masters just in this country. I'm actually a grandmaster and once a world champion in solving chess puzzles, which is a bit more like, you know, doing a series of really hard math problems, except they are in the form of a chess diagram where with the demand that you force checkmate in 5 moves, you know, which means prove that you can have a move, a first white move, such as where every black move there is a response, which almost looks like the statement of a math theorem, except that, you know, it's in a different notation.
Noam, you've been a full professor at Harvard since you were 26.
Something like that, yes.
Did you kind of realize that you were the youngest full professor in the history of Harvard? Did that have any, or well, did you find out after the fact?
I, of course, have, you know, long aspired to make my living doing one of the 2 things I love, which is math and music, and it's a bit silly to aspire to be the youngest tenured professor, like it's silly to aspire to win a Nobel or a Fields Medal, but because, you know.
Noam, now that we've recorded your piece, or together, actually, at Skywalker, tell me about it.
Well, what don't you know about the piece already? It's originally for Baroque flute and harpsichord, which is why the score you have the first movement says that. It was originally written for a Baroque flutist to play with me at the concert in nearby Mather House. She's Naam Leon, wife of a mathematician who also was a graduate student here, which is how we first met. And, you know, writing for a Baroque flute, it's even more natural to have at least one movement actually sound like the kind of music that we associate with Baroque flute and keyboard. And it's even more transgressive to have that kind of thing happening on harpsichord. And that idea came after I already was satisfied with the first movement and the first performance was coming up, and I was wondering, okay, where do I go from here? Because, I mean, yes, I could write a complete Baroque sonata, but you know, I want to do something else also in this piece. I don't get a chance to write for Baroque flute and keyboard that often. And B, I actually would have to come up with some entirely new musical ideas, and this way I can actually use the ideas that I have already.
Time management.
Right. Brahms writes the cello and piano. The thing on the bottom is pizzicato. Gee, what does that sound like? Yeah, but we never perform that in concerts. It's sacrilege. I'd never do that to you know, I probably wouldn't get away with doing this to an actual Bach piece in concert. But I can do it to my own music, even if it sounds like Bach. And I can declare it sounds like...
You have license to do that.
Right, exactly. And, you know, I don't think my poetic license has been revoked yet. So, math is not music, and music is not math. You know, there is some of the same sense of aesthetics, of course, and it's happening in the same brain, and so there's inevitably some crosstalk. But yeah, I try to make connections between things that, you know, find things that are connected in ways that I hadn't, and hopefully, well, nobody else realized in the same way are connected before. Another one of these things that, you know, if I had my life to live over again, I'd give up a bit more of doing mathematics and try to do this for my second life, but, you know.
Well, great. Thanks, Noam. This was fun.